Hi, this is Nancy Joy, and this is Weekly Reflections. Once again, I'm on the road in a new place, looking a little different, huh? Anyway, today I wanted to talk about the 5D challenge. And the 5D challenge is the one that takes us out of the Great Divide and into the solution, because that's where we're headed. And in order to get there, we really have to get out of the judgment, the divide, the finger pointing, as we've discussed. So I have maybe some pretty good new information to help you along the way. As this is a quote by Leonardo Dicaprio, I thought was kind of good. This is not he's talking about climate change. This is not a partisan debate, it's a human one. Clean air, clean water, and livable climate are inalienable human rights. Solving this crisis is not a question of politics. It's our moral obligation. Forget the politics. Let's just get it done. So I wanted to take this a step further because in the 5D frequencies, it insists that humanity moves out of the Great Divide. You all know what the Great Divide is. Here's the line. I'm on this side of climate change. I'm on this side of climate change. I'm on this side of gun control. I'm on that side of gun control. I'm on this side of pharmaceuticals. I'm on this side of holistic medicine. I'm on this side of abortion. I'm on that side of abortion. It is the Great Divide that keeps the heart divided from beating as one. And in the 5D frequencies, we are headed to beating as one heart. So whether you believe climate change is caused by carbon emissions and the industrial complex and the corporate world, or whether you believe that to a large extent scientifically it has to do with the cycles of the planet, it doesn't really matter. What we need to do is work on the solutions, come a step into the middle of the Great Divide, and find the common ground, which is, of course, in our hearts. It's easy to point the finger, and we get so carried away. And if you listen to social media sometimes, people just get into this big rap about someone just stating what they believe. And because it's not what you believe, then there's this big, it's not even a discussion, it's an argument, a finger-pointing thing that goes on, and that doesn't serve anything. The only way to change this is for you to live your truth and hold a space of love for everyone standing on the other side of your divide to do the same, because that opens the doorway to the common ground, to the open heart, to the solutions that are coming. I had a great teacher that once told me, Nancy, if you're standing in garbage, pick it up, it's yours. So if you're standing in pain over an environmental situation, do something about it. And that's where you get to the activists. Forget the politics. Do something about it. But it starts with recognizing what's going on in here. It can't start any other place because it's a reflection of your own abuse of yourself, of your own pollution of yourself, of your own toxicity of yourself, as you are now returning to love and all that is coming up for healing. So I know these situations create a lot of rage and anger, and the place to go with that is to allow the rage and anger to come up, to embrace them as your own healing and bring them back to love. And then you're ready to really take some action that's constructive. Change what you have the power to change right now. I have two quick stories to tell you about putting this into action. Some years back, I had a client who was pregnant and was scheduled the next day, in fact, for an abortion, and came and did a session with me. And where we went was meditate over the night, connect with the incoming soul. If it helps you to journal a letter to the incoming soul, have the soul write back, do it in a meditation, however you want to, but do connect with this incoming soul. Share your feelings, share your fears, share whatever's going on with you. This person was a choicer, that everyone has a choice, but when it came to her own choice, she was pretty much on the fence. And so anyway, she woke up the next day, canceled her appointment. Long story short, she connected to this incoming soul, decided it was a soul contract, and years later, everything has turned out fine. Second story is I had another client who was also a choicer, and I suggested she did take the same route, which she did do. And she decided that the incoming soul and she were not ready for what they had agreed to do, and that she did schedule an abortion. Interestingly enough, before she went, she had a miscarriage. So there you have it, 2 ways to step across the Great Divide and create a solution without pointing a finger. I know environmentalists who have stopped pointing their finger at carbon emissions and all this. And what are they doing? They're planting trees. They're planting gardens. They're composting. They're loving the earth. They're breathing with the earth and appreciating the earth in every single way. I know people that have stopped blaming the gun laws. If people want guns and they're following the laws, let them have them. I don't want a gun. I don't have to have one. And what these people do when they're conscious is they hold love in their hearts for everybody, because the more love you hold in the hearts, the less shooting there'll be. It isn't the guns that are killing the people. It is people that are killing people. And so it is time now, and I'm not saying an advocacy either way, but I'm just saying it's time now to come to the middle ground. And the middle ground here is love. And you can take, pharmaceuticals. You can make a choice to stop taking pharmaceuticals in your own life and eat more healthy and herbs and holistic ways. And you can love people on the other side of the divide that find that this is their journey. Because if they find it's their journey, it is their journey. And then this becomes learning to hold a space of love. There is a great video I did on that if you look up in my channel, Holding a Space of Love, if you want to find out how to do it. It's an awesome thing to do. So it is about in the 5D to take the challenge in your own life of moving out of the Great Divide, of no longer squaring off, of coming into your own centered heart, finding common ground, and within that place, take action, because that is the only place to take action, in your truth, and it has nothing to do with anybody else's truth. So this is where we're going in the new frequencies. Everyone is presented with many opportunities to step up into the Great Divide, step into the common heart ground where love, imagination, and heart consciousness and heart conscious actions create as we step across what has divided us, so we become more one peoples. And this is where we need to go. So I invite you to take the challenge and first take it in your private life. Where are you in a relationship there you become so judgmental and you have a great divide? What's the point? Hold a space of love and do what you need to do. Take action on your part. Be true to yourself. In fact, the more you do this, the more the Great Divide disappears, and the more the Great Divide disappears, the fewer challenges there are in this regard. So catch the magic. Have a great week. Probably won't be with you next Sunday. I think I'll be on the road headed back to Iowa. Take care of who you are. Bye.